Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat Podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, and Frato's Culinary Kitchen. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski, and Jay in the Chicago area right now. It's treacherous times out for everybody, but especially for us fats. This whole ice situation that we've gotten over the last 24 hours, It has not been great.
No, it hasn't. And us fats are always, I feel like there's always a camera around for people like us in case something happens.
Yes, because the rest of the world hopes.
Yeah, well, something happened to me today, which we'll get to here in a second. But first, thanks for joining us. We're on all our social medias at I'm Fat Pod. Email us, imfatpod@gmail.com. Fat phone 708-858-3314. We're on Patreon. We're on TeePublic. We're on all that great stuff. Keep an eye on our social media accounts for information on sales and all that great stuff. So, yeah, man, it's been, I went to see my doctor on Thursday and made the annual promise that I'm going to eat better. And then this weekend just ate like complete crap. Well,
by better, did you mean more efficiently? That's what better means to me.
Take a breath between bites.
Yeah.
No, I did not agree to that. But it's so bad. I did one of those assessments of my day and was like, oh my God, how am I alive? So we'll get to that. But I digress. You had something you wanted to start with here with the fat adventures on ice.
Well, so last night, so this
coming soon to the Allstate Arena.
Yes. So last night I'm doing my laundry. I'm like, okay, what's a time that is likely the laundry room to be free in my building? So 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, most people have lives. You know who doesn't?
You and me. Nice.
Yeah. So I went and did laundry. So while I'm folding all my clothes around 11:30 midnight, someone comes in a huff to the building, and mind you, I don't know the person, just someone you've seen their face around a little bit, but you never spoken to them. And she comes in and is just completely flustered about how much ice is already building in the parking lot. And also in our building, there's an underground garage for people that have those deeded out spaces. But there's a ramp, a decent angle ramp that goes down to it. And that thing was all ice.
Oh God.
So she was calling the numbers you have to be like, hey, can someone come out and salt this or scrape this up or whatever and get that taken care of? Cause she's like, I got to be at work at 9 tomorrow morning and I don't necessarily trust people to do it. So
no, it's a good call by her.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew it was going to be icy out. And then I didn't realize how icy until this morning when I look around and I'm like, well, we got we have one roll of toilet paper left. We have no water. So guess where I'm going? The old Walgreens.
Wait, why do you have no water?
Well, because we've been told not to drink the water.
Oh, bottled water. I thought you had no water on in your apartment.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. I should have specified. No bottled water, no drinkable water. So I was like, all right. So I got to get toilet paper and I have to get water. So I'm like, okay, I'll get the 12. I'm just thinking I'll get, the 12, whatever the racket that toilet paper is now. The 12 equals 48 is the smallest you can get, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. And a case of water and then maybe some snacks for throughout the day because, hey, last Sunday of the regular season, thank God the Bears are done and whatever. And then I'll just have some stuff around the house. Well, I try to get to my car, which is close to the door, and sliding my feet across the ground and then having to take a few steps because of where snow is built up. But then because of the freezing rain last night, there's a nice glaze, a Krispy Kreme.
Oh, yeah.
All over it. Yes. So it was very careful. So then I get to Walgreens. After dealing with that, I'm like, all right, we're calling an audible here. So what we're doing.
I live here now.
Yes. We are going with the 6-pack of toilet paper, the 12-pack of the 12-ounce bottles of water instead of the full-on case. And I got half as much of the other stuff as I was planning on getting just to make sure I could get it all in in one trip without balance being an issue. Because with that many units looking down on the parking lot, it's a 110 unit building, so there's a lot of people with the possibility to take videos. And my God, if you're watching on YouTube, when I'm doing this with my hands, I look like Boban. My hands look so big. Jesus.
It's just
my hands look as big as my head.
It's an illusion.
It's
illusions,
yeah,
Rick.
Exactly. That's what I keep telling people. But yes. So either way, I completely cut down on what I needed to get just because I did not want to fall and be that fat person.
Okay.
And I got inside successfully.
I'm glad you made it.
Score.
I did not make it.
Oh, boy.
So
oh boy,
it's crazy. So left early this morning. Hope this is the by the way, reminder. Thanks for reminding myself, Jay. 10 days left to buy Girl Scout cookies from Addie.
Yes.
So if you want those, bit.ly/cookies from Addie with a capital C in cookies and a capital A in Addie, and Addie is ADDIE.
I appreciated her sending me the individual email that starts, "Hi, cookie lover."
She knows you. That was just to you.
Yep, just to me.
That was not a form letter at all.
No, not at all.
All right. So anyway, today was a Girl Scout meeting, but it was virtual because, COVID. You know about this? Have you heard about this? You hear about this COVID thing? Yeah. So I had to deliver the ingredients for the ice cream making. They were making thin mint ice cream today.
Oh, nice.
So I had to make 5 stops.
Okay.
All of one more treacherous than the other.
Yeah.
3 of which I had to repeat because Hope forgot to put an ingredient in the bag. So I had to go back home, grab those, and then go back. Honest to God, there was one point where I thought my car was going to slide down my friend's driveway, just into the street and over me. Yeah. So anyway, I make all these stops. It's early. No one's gotten out to Salt yet. Driveways are treacherous. Boom. Okay. I do fine. I go to Beverly. One of the kids lives in Beverly. Okay. So I deliver it there. Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to Nicky's of Beverly, which we'll get to soon.
Okay.
Get home. Get out of the car. Feeling good. My driveway's nice and salted. I hit one little patch of ice.
Oh no.
With the right side of my foot. And I'm immediately down. However, I'm balancing the leftovers from Nicky's in my hand. And if you're looking on YouTube, I'm demonstrating.
Okay.
Like a pizza box.
Yes.
Fall down on my right side. So I land on my right elbow and my right knee.
Okay.
Okay. Maintain possession.
Nice.
I completed the catch of the important thing, the leftover chicken tendies, which were amazing. But my first instinct was, who's filming?
Yep.
I swear to God, I thought I'm not worried if I'm okay. Is anything broken? That's not a concern right now.
Right.
Who saw that? Who saw me totally eat it in my own driveway? And fortunately, no one saw me.
Nice.
But man, as I'm evaluating, I tore my jeans. In the knee of my jeans, it's ripped. My pant leg was all wet. My elbow was still have you ever gotten in a car accident where you don't feel it right away, and then as the day goes on,
yes,
that's where I'm at right now. I'm starting to get sore from it. Why is my right side sore? Oh yeah, I hit the ground in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that would do the trick.
Instant. And of course, this happens. Another part of my trip was I had to go to the Morgan Park ice arena and register for my get decent at skating class that I'm taking.
Okay.
And of course, I'm all in my head about that.
Sure.
Right? I'm I'm going to slip. I'm going to fall. I'm going to look like an ass. I'm not going to be able to do it.
You're going to fall.
Oh, I know.
That's okay.
But I don't want to humiliate myself. That's the thing. And then as soon as I hit a patch of ice at home, I'm down. I mean, it was...
So it wasn't trying to catch yourself for a couple steps or anything like that. It was just immediate.
Immediate. Okay. It was just immediately down.
Gravity's I got you.
I was just on the ground what? Why am I here? What happened? How did I fall? But yeah, it was very quick. But I'm okay, I think. I didn't hit my head, which is half the battle, I think. But
the somehow keeping the leftovers safe reminds me of when I was a freshman in college. NIU was in a bowl game in San Jose, And it was a torrential downpour. Like the entire game, we were the only spot within like a few blocks that had power. Like it was that bad.
Wow.
And one of the rules that I was told, being a freshman at the time, is if you fall, the instrument comes first. Because I was
you gotta protect
playing a
the
sousaphone.
instrument. Yeah.
So like it's wrapped around you. Like it's it's kind of wrapped around like a bag or something, but it's just metal tubing.
Right.
And we had a guy who was in the ROTC who was in our section, and he's like, here's how you have to, walk and run in the rain because of limited time. We had to Braveheart it onto the field into our first set. So we did that. And who's the one that eats it? Him.
Wow.
Mr. ROTC talking all the smack. And what does he do? Because of what was instilled in our head about the instrument, lands on both knees and was going quick enough, and it was like kind of the field was slanted towards the sidelines, hits his knees and slides an extra 5 yards and has to, before he can get back up to his feet and get to his spots.
Wow.
But save the instrument.
That's impressive.
Not a speck on it.
I love that. That's like, here's how much we value you.
Yep.
The instrument's more valuable than your life. Thank you. You can die, but please don't smash the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. I was feeling good about my day, and then that happened. I was like, God, I'm so old and fat. Just a constant reminder of my oldness and fatness.
You're definitely old.
I'm gonna do a show with my shirt off. It's happening because all this slander is happening, and it's pissing me off. But,
about your fatness,
dude.
Maybe it's just
fine.
in comparison.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Maybe it's just in comparison to me, to be fair, because let's be honest, like there's a lot of room between fat and where I'm at right now. And there may be some rumors out there that I might be trying to close that gap slightly. Mm-hmm. Those rumors to this date are false.
I'm trying to remember.
Maybe in the future, but not quite yet.
Well, here, let's tell everybody about our friends at Mazda of Orland Park, and then I'm going to recap my weekend as you slander me.
Okay.
8910 West 159th Street, 708-444-3200. If you can't tell where I have my reads put up as I crank my head to the left to make sure I don't get everything right.
That's actually how radio works, because that's the way it is at the score, too, except it's to our right. There, because it's like, hey, the mic is in front of you and it can barely move. However, you have to do this to be able to see the reads.
You got to crane your head so you can stay there. So Mazda of OrlandPark.com. I'm in the market for a new car. I have put so much freaking money into the Ford, which is losing pieces as I drive down the street. I'm so tired of it, and I want a new car, and I'm hoping in the spring I can make it happen. Eric, if you're listening, just waive a down payment, okay? Just pretend I don't need one. Give him a call, though. 708-444-3200. Come on, we're friends. Go get yourself a Mazda. I love my CX-5. I've driven it since 2015. I'm a Mazda customer for life. And a big part of that is not just the fact that I love the CX-5, but that the service at Mazda of Orland Park is second to none. Eric's a friend. I did not really know Eric until I went to Mazda of Orland Park, and he's a dude I talk to often about sports and life and other stuff. He's that kind of guy. He owns the place. He runs the place, and that's how the place works, and that's why I'll always be a customer there. 8910 West 159th Street in Orland Park, Mazda of OrlandPark.com. Okay, so I mentioned today that I went to Nicky's at Beverly. Yeah. Which I mentioned 3 or 4 episodes ago. We went for the first time, and it's phenomenal. 105th and Western in Beverly. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
They're just celebrated their 1-year anniversary this weekend, by the way. So it was lunch, so I was like, I don't know if I want like a huge entree. So I had just had a taste for buffalo something. So I'm like, how big are the tenders? I asked the girl who takes the order. She's like, oh, normal, like a pretty medium-sized tender. So I'm like, all right, let me get an 8-piece. And I got the spicy curds.
Okay.
And I saw them.
Spicy curds?
Yeah, they're not like killer, but like the batter has a little spice in it. They're really good. But then I saw them making the tenders, and they're big. Okay. So as soon as he gave me my food, I'm like, I'm going to take a to-go box too. Yeah. Because there's no way I'm taking down 8 of these and an order of curds. But I'm big on chicken tenders. I don't like. Sometimes it's just what I want. The ones at Nicky's were excellent. I sent Rick a couple of pictures, and they'll put them up in the YouTube if you're watching on YouTube.
They look good.
Super meaty, with a crispy but not like chewy breading. You know, sometimes you can get crispy tenders, but it's like you're like kind of it's like a jerky kind of a feel. This was just crispy, perfect. The buffalo sauce was hot but not too hot. It was. I got them tossed, but you can just get them on the side.
Yeah.
2 for 2 at Nicky's, man.
Nice.
This is one of my favorite places.
Wow.
It's fantastic, and I'm that close to Los Angeles, and I decided to go to Nicky's. That should tell you something. I couldn't really live with myself, like to have a whole pizza by myself and not share it with my family. Like I would have caught in all hell for that, and rightfully so.
Yeah. See, that's why you don't have a family, because then you can do those type of things.
Is that why?
Without anybody saying anything.
Is that the strategy?
Yeah. Why not?
All right, fair enough. I like that. Noted.
Can't have anybody tell you no if there's nobody there with you.
No. Okay, good. I like that.
My column.
All right, so here's my week to correct the slander. But by the way, go to Nicky's at Beverly, 105th and Western. Not an ad, just a place I love.
And this is not to further at what you are calling slander that I do not consider slander. But you did say I saw how many they were giving me, and I immediately knew I needed a box. And mind you, I'm not disagreeing that I'm not saying I would not have needed the box. However, when you just said I'm tired of the slander, and then you immediately went to I knew I was going to need a box, not great.
But yeah, okay, that's fair. But I knew that like as soon as I saw them pull these out of the fryer, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah,
because I was on the fence. Like, should I do 6
no.
or 8?
Yeah. Well, then the question is, you got to ask the waitress, where does she go for chicken tenders that those are medium?
Yeah, right. Seriously, where do you get big ass tendies? Carefully with how you say that.
Yeah, I was
to
just going
a
to say.
server. Okay, so here's my weekend. Shall we start with let's start with lunch on Friday.
Okay.
The other thing that happened to my Ford was the catalytic converter got stolen.
Yeah.
So that was $700. And then Lynn Bramer, our friend from XRT, gave me, it's like a cage that protects it from being stolen again. So I owed him a pizza. So Friday for lunch, Paisanos, butter crust. Dude.
Love Paisanos.
You get the butter crust too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The thin crust at Paisanos is fantastic. Got half sausage, half pepperoni, split it with Lauren, who works in the news side, the digital side there. So we split a pizza.
And some scavengers.
And Rick and Mike Rankin had a couple leftover pieces. So that was that. Then I had a cookie, because
Why not?
yeah, I need a cookie. I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I? For dinner, I had a giant steak burrito from Wancho's in Homewood. That was great. Then Saturday was McDonald's breakfast. And then for lunch, I had Pops. Hot dogs?
Okay.
There's Addie interrupting me. Oh, she brought me the ice cream. Lovely. Thank you. I already promoted your cookies. Do you want to give the website again?
bit.ly/C cookies from A Addie. Thank you for buying.
Thank you.
See, the thing about a family that is nice, though, is that then they bring you food and you don't have to move.
They do. I want to taste. This looks good. It looks like it worked out really well. Okay, so yeah, McDonald's breakfast, Pops for lunch, beef sandwich and fries. What do we have? Oh, last night we made homemade pizzas. That's healthy because I made it at home.
Well, yeah.
Today for
And
breakfast,
it has tomatoes.
Yeah, right. Today for breakfast, I had 2 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Nice.
One of which was a cream filled.
Oh.
Have you
like,
had
like
this?
a Boston cream type thing?
No. It was a traditional glazed Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
And then it's glazed throughout the middle, like it's injected throughout the circle. And then in the middle of the hole is a whole other blob of cream. I didn't have...
There's no good way to say that.
I know. So I just did it. And then I also had a chocolate glazed.
Yeah.
Because, got to get some chocolate in there.
Well, yeah, it's got to be a well-balanced meal.
Yeah. Then it was Nicky's for lunch, as I mentioned. And then we just had Pops again for dinner.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm going to have some ice cream as I...
That's
evaluate my
okay.
life.
It's funny. As we've been talking, I've been adding to my list of places in the Lombard area that I need to try over the next, couple weeks, assuming the ice ever lets up and lets me through a door.
It will.
So, because in the on the fan page on Facebook, There's now more locations of Firewater Barbecue. There's one that opened in Elmhurst. It's actually like in the same area as Fry the Coop, the one at North Avenue and 83. So it's like right there. So essentially you could walk, in theory, if you really wanted to, which maybe you should, you go to, let's say, Firewater first, and then you walk over to Fry the Coop, and you can get barbecue and you can get chicken within the same time frame. Or if you're like me and you want the ultimate individual meal, and maybe you live close or you just want to eat in your car, you get something that you like from Firewater and get chicken from Fry the Coop, and you have made a wonderful meal.
Oh man, you could do like a Nashville pulled pork, like just cram 2 tenders on a pulled pork sandwich.
Yes. And then like a block from that or 2 blocks from that, if you're heading west on North Avenue, is Stratt's Hot Dogs, where I get the Italian sausage there, and it is wonderful and generally pretty cheap too.
Okay.
So there's some stuff in that area of like North Avenue and 83. Was it like Elmhurst Villa Park ish?
How many people are screaming 83 at the podcast player right now?
A lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing that.
Yes.
That sounds like a good day.
That would be a good day, and I need to do that. I mean, I've got so there's Firewater. There's a place that I discovered and I sent you the link. The concept I love.
Yes. Speaking of.
It's called, yeah, exactly. It's called the Donut Experiment. And this is, so if you're familiar, if you get off of 88 at Highland.
Okay.
So basically, if you're on Highland and I don't know why the pen matters, but for those on YouTube.
I like it.
Yeah, I liked it. My Italian side is coming out, and I'm getting very. I'm using the hands a decent amount. But you go, and if you would be going towards the Yorktown Mall, but instead of going right, you take a left, and there's like a strip mall around there. It's like right in front of the place. You know, the place, the Dump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one of those, and it's like the strip mall in front of there. And there's a couple good places around there. There's like a Billy Bricks Pizza. There's one of those burrito Paradia. I forgot what it actually is. And there's this place called the Donut Experiment, where it's essentially a create your own donut place, where it's, okay, do you want chocolate? What type of chocolate do you want? You get an ingredient and you get a glaze.
Oh man.
And you get to so it's essentially almost like the Subway concept, except for donuts.
So is it like an assembly line kind of a thing?
I'm assuming that's the way they make it seem. On the website is they're essentially like, you pick these 3 things and that's your donut. And you can have, or they also have like, their own specialty ones that you can also choose.
Okay.
So I will be trying that place at some point.
Yes, this is a place that I will certainly, Addie would love this. Maybe I'll surprise her. We got the long weekend this weekend. Or next weekend with MLK Day on Monday.
Oh, that's right. I'm working on Monday. So
yeah, that's one thing that in the new role I can take normal company holidays.
Yeah. Well, I initially was like, I will work MLK Day because you know what I like more than getting MLK Day off? A comp day.
Yeah, comp days are great.
Comp days are great. So I'm working them and it turned into hosting. So it'll be me and Grody 9 to noon.
Oh, nice.
On MLK Day.
Sweet.
So that'll be a thing. And then what else do I have here? Oh, there's a bar down the street that I forget if we talked about it before. Or we talked about it offline. It's like walking distance even for me. It's like a couple doors down from Nacho Rita. It's the
I
new
saw
version
that
of
place.
it is Corridor Kitchen and Tap.
Yes.
They have an entire section of their menu that is just different types of egg rolls that are not traditional.
Ah.
Let me see if I can pull this menu up here real quick.
Yeah, that I noticed that place. I think when we went to Nacho Rita that one day, we went there kind of early. Like I think we had lunch at like 11:15, so that place wasn't open yet. But
Okay.
it looked really good.
So they have 4 types of egg rolls: Italian beef, Reuben, carnitas,
Yes.
and Cuban.
Okay, that's appealing.
Yes.
Remember,
and they have a bunch of sliders and sandwiches and burgers. Like they kind of hit everything you want, and then they also have a ton. And then they have like their appetizer list is like everything you would want, and then a couple things you wouldn't. Like onion rings, mott sticks, fries, chicken tenders, breaded mushrooms, jalapeno poppers, fried ravioli, mini corn dogs, spinach dip.
I like how you turn your nose up at fried mushrooms. That's amazing.
I'm not a mushroom guy.
No, I'm not either. They don't bother me anymore, but I would never opt for them.
Yeah, exactly. Because like for me, I've said it before, earthy's not one of my things.
But I don't like on a pizza. I don't even notice them. So
Yeah.
why would I put a vegetable in my body?
Well, right. If it doesn't serve a purpose that I like,
Right.
then what's the point?
They're not elevated like peppers were last
Right.
week, as we promoted peppers to not vegetables anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, mushrooms are kind of in the get out of my face category.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, it was like if there was a mushroom on a piece of pizza, I'd get like
yeah.
a tweezer.
Right.
Now I'm like, whatever, I'll pick some off, and if I get one, it's not the end of the world.
Sure.
Damn it, what was I gonna say? I had something to say about something you said, and now I forgot.
Okay. Well,
Yay.
can I give since we talked about something from work, can I also, that was Friday as well. I was surprised at work, and it was a great surprise because a little, inside radio thing. Sometimes you have to pre-record interviews because you have to, if you want to have like a special guest on, because you have to work around their time frame. So the afternoon show on the score the afternoon show had an interview that they needed someone to be there to basically facilitate from the station. And I was asked, hey, could you do this? Because you're already going to be there. So that way either Shane or Tanny didn't have to make a special trip in like
Right.
an hour and a half before normal. So I said, sure. So I take care of it. We get everything going. It works out just fine. And then Tanny shows up to work. And Tanny walked in with a bag that I had not seen in a long time. And I did not know this was going to happen. I did this not thinking I was going to get anything out of it or whatever. I did not know that our friend and the great person, Chris Tannehill, lived close to a Baker Square. And Tanny brought in the most beautiful thing I had seen in quite a while. An untouched French silk pie from Baker Square.
Now, you shared that with me. I did not realize it was from Baker Square.
Yes, it was.
I thought they were all gone.
No.
I was going to say.
When
I was
he
going
walked
to
in,
say to
there
you,
was
that's
like
as
a
close to real French silk as I've ever had.
It was like a tear down, single tear rolled down my face. I mean, I should get some credit. I shared.
You did not take down the entire pie.
For something like that is basically gold. I shared. What was it? Mike Rankin had some. Layla had some. You had some. I offered it to Tanny and Shane, and they said no. Ryan, the new guy, had some. I think a couple other people did. So I went home with about a slice and a half, give or take.
Okay.
So
Did it make it home, or did you eat it in the car?
Not gonna lie, if I didn't have the newer car, I might have eaten it in the car. But I did.
Good move.
And mind you, all I had with me in the car was a knife, and I would have made it work. So
I just see you like driving with like the entire pie tin like, like at your mouth.
Yeah, I'll not gonna lie. If it wasn't for the newer car and wanting to keep the crumbs to a minimum, I might have done it.
I've been there.
So a big time, a Ritu-pecked hat tip to Chris Tannehill for being the guy and knowing exactly what would make my day.
That's great. Yeah, that was so. I've not had that forever, and I was like,
good.
this tastes just like it. I was going to ask you where it's from, and I actually forgot about it. That's another thing I had to start my weekend was a slice of French silk pie because the cookie wasn't enough. So let me have some pie. I remember what I was going to say. What was the place where we used to have the Cubs on deck luncheons, and they had the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls?
Oh yeah,
I can't think of the name of the place.
it was. Oh crap, what was it?
I can't. For the life of me, I can't remember. Good riveting radio.
I don't remember.
Hey, hang on. Cubs. That's what it's called, right? Cubs on deck luncheon.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was where like
It has like all the divorce things on the wall. Remember that?
I never went there. I was always on the board.
Oh yeah. It was
at the station.
Oh, come on.
Because it was during Lawrence's show. You were a saint and stayed late.
Got
because,
it.
you had a choice.
Del Frisco's.
Yes, Del Frisco's.
That's where it was.
Yep.
I did technically have a choice, by the way, to stay late, but I didn't actually have a choice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
hey, would you mind staying? Like, I'm not gonna say yes, I mind, but
Right.
yes.
At least it's like the easiest job in the world. Like on-site producing is pretty well the easiest gig.
Yeah, but you got to deal with people.
Yeah, but I mean, I did that for like 2.5 years with Dan and Terry, so I was used to like
Yeah.
the Boers and Bernstein people. So
Yeah.
like,
That's bad. I had the ghost of like Tinkers to Evers to Chance. They're like 3 old guys who like dressed up like ghosts.
ugh,
Yeah, it's like, but Javier Baez does not want you here.
right.
Go away. Stop being annoying.
Maybe that's why Nick Castellanos cried.
Could be. It could be. It's just, I don't know. Adult autograph people and adult,
Yeah.
not my thing.
I really quick. I've told the Matt Bowen story. I don't know if I've told it on here.
I don't think so. I don't know
Okay.
the story. I don't think.
Okay, so this was my first year doing the Doug and OB post-game show. And Matt Bowen was part of the pregame show. So like wherever the pre and post was, wherever that remote was, I was there all day.
Okay.
And this guy had this really cool looking picture of Soldier Field. And he had a ton of former Bears that had signed it. And he was a jerk. Jerk to me, jerk to the wait staff. Like, and he was loud enough to where we all noticed it. So he has all this beautiful thing, and all these former Bears signed it. And he had Hamp sign it because at that year the pregame show was Hub, Hamp, and Matt Bowen. And he like was kind of a jerk to Hamp even about it because Hamp was like talking to somebody else and was ignoring this guy. So then he goes to Matt Bowen and wants him to sign it. Matt having never played for the Bears, and Matt just kind of looks at me, looks back at the guy, and says, "Sure." And signs the thing. So this guy's probably like, I've got all these Bears that have signed this thing, and Matt Bowen, who played for the Packers and not the Bears.
Iowa Hawkeye Matt Bowen.
Yes.
Iowa? Yeah, he went to Iowa.
Yeah.
Him and Heron.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That's funny.
Yeah, it was like the end of the big pad era. So like you see Bowen with like the giant shoulder
Yes.
pads and stuff.
I played in the big pad era.
Yes.
That like there, I was a long snapper, and my shoulder pads were so big that they would choke me out if I had my hands up too long.
Oh.
So like if I did this, the
Yeah.
plastic would like pinch my neck.
Oh.
So whenever I had to make a long snap, I would take forever to go down and put my hand on the ball because as soon as I did, I was like,
Yeah,
start to
and that was
black out.
preparation for wearing dress clothes now.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Have you noticed though that like as I'm settling into my role, that I've been getting more and more casual?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
As you realize people don't truly care.
Nah, no one cares. The first week I was like khakis and
Yeah.
tucked in dress shirt and,
Yeah,
really
you were kind of getting your Harbaugh on a bit.
a little bit. And now I'm like, jeans and maybe something with a 3/4
Yeah, something
zip.
with a collar.
Yeah,
Ish.
maybe. Yeah, I'm easing in. I'm getting comfortable. Plus being on the side of the office where I'm at, there's a lot of times where I don't see any of my bosses like for days at a time.
Because it's easier for them to go the other way because essentially our floor is like a big U.
Right.
And where there's nothing is where the elevator is. And so it's like you get off the elevator and for like your bosses, everything is pretty much directly to the left where you are off to the right and then a couple offices the other way. So people really have to go out of their way to come see you.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure you're heartbroken.
Really
by
a
that.
shame that I don't get to have constant people bothering me. No one bothers me. You know what I mean? I like when people come visit me, but it's like,
Yeah.
I really like, especially last week when Jill and Lauren, the two producers that work in our department, they work from home and it was
Oh, okay.
just me all day. I got so much done.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And there was a lot of time I'm one of those people that like, I have to, once I start a task, I have to complete it.
Yes.
So like all my work was done by like 2:30. So the last hour was like, well, let me hang out and see what I can get ahead on or not do that's work related.
Get a head on. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's been good. Okay. We've put this off long enough.
Yes.
This was something early in the week. Can you actually jar a fart?
There are logistics that I'm not sure of here.
So
Is there a piping thing? Like, is Tom Thayer describing the piping going from somebody's butt to a jar?
So-
Like, I don't know how this works.
I've been thinking about this a lot.
You really have. You mentioned it to me like a few times.
Because I can't imagine you can successfully fart in a receptacle
yeah.
and then seal it up, and the fart lives in a receptacle. If you haven't heard this story,
Right. Well, and it makes me think of the gif of like the thermal gif of a fart.
yeah,
It's not like it's a line or something. It's like a poof.
it's air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay,
I
if
like
you
how
don't
you're like an adult about it, and I'm like, no, it's like a poof,
poof.
a poof and stuff.
if you don't know the story, there's an influencer that was selling her farts and made a ton of money, but she had to like just sustain this diet of beans and stuff to make the
Boy,
output.
it sounds horrible. You know who she should have consulted? Us.
Yeah.
We could take the beans out of that diet and
Yeah.
still make it very gassy.
We can help you fart easily. Just call us. It's like when my cousin Alex was playing. He was playing football at Oregon, and he was a receiver. And they're like, you got to put on weight. He's like, I don't know how. I'm like, I got you. Come on over. How many burritos have you had today?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
it's like when Goldberg was consulting Julie the cat on her diet. You know, she needed carbo loading. Although she was a smart one, and she really like let him run her diet for a while. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. No. Anyway,
It was also in D3, like the worst of the Mighty Ducks movies.
they're all still very good though.
Yes.
So okay. So she got sick. She had like a heart attack or something because of her diet was so bad from
Yeah,
farting.
because the headline was fart attack.
Okay, so that's a great Parks and Rec, by the way.
Yeah.
Where Jerry has a heart attack and is farting, and Aziz Ansari is trying to get the doctor to say fart attack. It's awesome. Okay, so we keep digressing, which is fine. I asked this question on Twitter, like, can this actually happen? And an uncomfortable amount of people were like, I've done it and it works.
Yeah.
Somebody told me they farted in a Tupperware and then put it in their freezer and then like in the summer like opened it in their friend's face and the person almost like fainted. Which if you're of a certain age and you remember Bill Cosby before he was just a rapist,
Yeah.
he did a comedy bit about this kid who hit him with a snowball. And he
Yes.
kept the snowball in the freezer and then waited till summer and just smoked the kid with the snowball.
Yeah.
Then roofied his mom. Anyway,
By the way,
sorry.
it completely changes the title of one of his albums to Russell, My Brother, Whom I Slept With.
Yes. Hopefully Russell consented. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have no mercy for Bill Cosby because
no.
he was a beloved figure for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Burn in hell forever. Anyway. So yes, like very long story short, apparently farting in a jar or a receptacle works.
See, I think we can make money off of this.
All right. So you're right. And I've been thinking about this. Here's how you do it.
And the best thing is we've both thought about this and we have not consulted with each other.
I think my vision for this
Okay.
is reverse beer bong. So the skinny part goes to the fart output,
Okay.
and then the big horn part goes over the jar.
Okay.
What we got to figure out though is you could probably like put a screw pattern in the funnel,
Okay.
so you go into the jar. But then how do we get the jar to seal? Because you'd have to have it open on top. So you'd have to have some sort of flap that would close the jar, and then you could twist the jar without
Right.
actually breaking the seal of the fart.
Right. Yeah.
need
It
an
needs
engineer.
to be. Yeah. Exactly. I like that you're thinking about the logistics of it, and that we need to be. What is? Shoot, I'm gonna blow it now. The slogan. Yeah, we need to be known best for being better and use a permaseal or something like that. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah.
Something like that. No, I was thinking about how we make money is, I don't know if it'd be like an OnlyFans thing or where people want, like, from you, someone might, a big fan of this podcast might want Jay's Rosangela's farts.
Yeah.
So you eat Rosangela's and you bottle those farts.
Yeah.
For me, they might want my coma farts, which no one should want ever.
And then they'll accidentally ask Matt Bowen for his.
Yes, like literally a la carte of what you want. What you want.
You
the
just
farts
walked
to be
into the
of.
name of it, and it's a la fart.
Yes,
Tell us what cuisine you'd like us to have. Oh God, it's so gross.
Yep.
Like
I don't get it.
I don't look. I am
But
not. People have their fetishes. It's cool
Sure.
as long as it's, like I said, consensual. Do your thing, right?
Right.
But I just can't draw the map to.
No.
This is like.
No.
It's finally here. It's a,
Right.
the mail. It's here. Hold on. Oh yeah.
You're right.
No. Why
Right.
is it?
Okay. So even the closest thing we've gotten to this is in Van Wilder when Raj has the woman fart in his face. It's more the fact that she can control when she does the act.
Right.
It's not the smell of it itself. It's the controlling of the act. And that's as close as we get.
But that's not with a jar. That's
Well,
just
right. But that's what I'm saying. It's not that close, but it's still as close as we've gotten to a public knowing of someone clicking on this tab.
Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Like I get like feet don't do it for me.
No,
but
same here.
like there's some dudes that are into it. Like I have a friend who says every time she posts on Instagram,
Yeah.
some rando dude's like, "Can you picture your feet?"
Yeah, listen, I've seen Boomerang. I love the movie Boomerang. However, that doesn't mean that I love feet. I understand like the kind of using it like feet for some guys.
Sure.
Like Eddie Murphy in that movie. Feet are kind of like hot links are for me at a barbecue joint. Like if you can't keep
Exactly
your feet,
like that.
If you can't keep your feet, while in decent shape, then that's probably not a good sign for you as a person. And that's also, if you haven't seen Boomerang, 1, do it. 2, that's essentially the premise for Eddie Murphy. Is he doesn't even necessarily say he's attracted to the feet. It's just, if the feet are looking like this, then we got issues.
I get that. I can see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman can't maintain her feet, she can't maintain her. That's how I am with. I just mean hygiene.
Sure.
That's how I'm with breath.
Yes.
Like I am so like.
How many times do we exchange pieces of gum because we're both so paranoid?
I'm
about
paranoid
breath?
because here's why, by the way. I'm paranoid about breath because I remember every person that's had bad breath around me. I never forget it. Like if someone's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Christ." I remember I could put down a list right now of people that have had bad breath by
Some
me.
people remember names. Some people remember faces. Jay remembers bad breath.
And it's probably because of my hangups with it. Mm-hmm. But oh my God, there was this guy in high school that sat in front of me all the time because his last name ended in Y.
Okay.
So he was always right in front of me, and he'd turn around and be like, "Hey Jay, how's your hot hummus?" Like everything he said started with H. Like,
Probably not.
God, like
Can't you have a cheeseburger or something?
yeah, say something else. Oh my God. And that was in the point too where like nothing was worse than having gum at school. Like, like it was like the worst violation you could have.
Yeah.
It's like, is someone chewing gum? Like, yeah. It was no, forget it. Like you'd be shot on sight
Right.
if you dared to have gum. Well, if you dared to have gum in school. But yeah, a little slip there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, man, I remember every incident of bad breath I've ever had in my life with someone. And then if someone's ever said to me like, "Hey, you can use a piece of gum," I'm
NRJ.
like,
Yeah.
I can never see you again. It's like I'll never live this moment down.
Yep.
It's so brutal. It's
Well,
so brutal.
at least we don't have anxiety about social situations of any other kind. for
No,
ourselves,
no.
As I
Never.
literally was tugging my shirt as I said that.
Yeah, right. No, we don't have any hangups at all.
No, none at all.
Nothing like that.
Okay, so I got one thing that was brought to my attention. It was brought to our attention on Twitter, and then also when I went on when I went on Saturday Suckage on the score, it was it's always Steve Rosenblum and Enter Update guy here.
Yes.
Even though we haven't had updates, and usually it's been Grody, but this time it was Mike Esposito. This is a new item at the Toyota Center for Houston Rockets games because I have to have some reason to have people come in because their basketball team sucks.
Okay.
It is a jumbo mac and cheese hot dog.
All right.
With bacon and Fruit Loops.
Mac and cheese, bacon, and Fruit Loops?
Yeah. On a hot dog.
I feel like you wouldn't taste it.
That's why. So what I said when I went on with them and they asked me about it is these are full Fruit Loops that are being put on this. If you gave me like half Fruit Loops or quarter Fruit Loops, I feel like I'd be more here for it because it's just like you don't have much outside of the hot dog that's going to give you texture. So I'm here for a little bit of texture, but I don't want like the whole Fruit Loop necessarily.
To me, it feels like a gimmick. It feels
No.
like something designed to make people talk about it.
Yes.
But I don't think that having Fruit Loops on a hot dog with bacon and mac and cheese is going to have any impact aside from texture.
It's pretty much like, do you think you could withstand some sugar on your bacon mac and cheese hot dog?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of breadcrumbs. It's just sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
that's why I would like to have it closer to like not full on crushed up, but just like, now mind you, Fruit Loops are small, so having them quartered is pretty close. But still, I would rather have it like in the littler pieces.
Sure. Okay. I can buy that. But I just don't. I mean, it sounds outrageous, but when you think about the power of bacon and the power of mac and cheese in terms of taste,
Yes.
I don't think it's going to have that huge of an impact.
No, that's fair.
We should try it on the I'm Fat Burger. Put some Fruit Loops on there and see what happens. I guarantee you it
Just
wouldn't
like
taste
bring
them.
in some Fruit Loops ourselves.
Yeah, like, hey, Frato's. Throw these on here too and see if anyone notices.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guarantee you wouldn't even taste them. That's my guess. And they would probably
True.
they'd probably lose a bit of texture too because of the
Yeah, just
liquidity
being
of the
in
cheese.
Everything. Yeah.
Well, Fruit Loops or not, you should go to Frato's. Visit our friends. Go try the I'm Fat Burger. Go try the I'm Fat Pizza. Go try the I'm Fat Grilled Cheese. I still got to try that. I got to get out there and try that.
Same
'cause
here.
it's-
I've been bad. I have no excuse. For you, it's a hike. For me, it's like
yeah,
right there.
It's a journey for me, but worth it. And it's worth it
Yes.
for anybody that goes to
100%.
Frato's. And we've had a lot of people say, "Hey, I finally got here and it's all the hype, everything's legit." And it totally is. FratosPizza.com. Check out their bakery too, FratosBakery.com. Their cookies and their brownies are just fantastic. Check them out on Instagram at Fratos Pizza. That gives you a really good indication of the sort of stuff they've got there. 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. FratosPizza.com, FratosBakery.com, at Fratos Pizza on Instagram. Go visit them. Okay, Rick, I went to Trader Joe's this week, and I have 3 items to recommend.
Okay.
2 are desserts, 1 is not. So the first one is they've just got giant ass ice cream cookies. Like the 2 chocolate chip cookies with vanilla ice cream in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's tiny chocolate chips around the ring.
Yeah, that's a staple.
Top notch. And it doesn't get like however they make the ice cream, it doesn't get too frozen. So it's always
Nice.
soft and very edible. Then they also have a 12-pack of mini ice cream sandwiches that are Oreo with mint ice cream.
Oh.
And those
okay.
are, so it's like mint chocolate chip sandwich
Yeah.
cookies, but it's a 12-pack and they're all like Oreo sized.
nice.
And then I haven't tried this yet, but they had pepperoni pizza mac and cheese. Yeah.
Those are like 2 of my favorite food groups.
Yeah. Well, if you've never tried the Hatch chili mac and cheese from Trader Joe's, it's fantastic. Addie bought out the store when we were there. It's her favorite thing. She loves it.
Wow.
So she got like 4. They only had 4 left, and she's like, "Can I get all 4?" I'm like, "Get 3. Leave 1 for someone like you, for the next kid who comes in, right?" But I got this. I'll have a full review next week. This pepperoni pizza mac and cheese. It looks great. Just like
Nice.
it's the the cellophane, tear off the top and then put it in the microwave or whatever. And it's mac and cheese
Yeah.
in the bottom and then pizza sauce with pepperoni on top.
Yep.
So yeah, try that. I wanted to make sure I told you that because that's your. I know pepperoni pizza and mac and cheese are 2 of your favorites.
Yes. Like when I say a food group, like it's probably more of a demerit against me just how much pepperoni pizza I consume.
Yeah.
or pepperoni pizza variants, whether it's French bread pizza or pizza rolls.
French bread.
Dude,
French bread pizza.
French
so
bread
good.
pizza in the air fryer.
I gotta get a real air fryer.
Yes.
I got this like toaster oven one and it just doesn't do the job.
You know what? And you know how you justify it too? You're
Show
like, listen,
expense.
show expense for one. Two, you were like, listen, I backed off on the Blackstone. So
well, I bought an
I should-
Xbox
I should-
instead, so
don't ruin the bit.
That's all right.
Interesting you got an Xbox.
well, I
Instead
have
of, PlayStation 5.
I have that too, because I'm a freak. Yeah,
Good for
it's a
you.
topic for another day.
Yes, it is.
Um,
However,
Yeah.
you know, just like it's like a meeting halfway thing of like, hey, I didn't get this ultra expensive thing, so I'm gonna get this like moderate priced thing that I might not necessarily need, but I could really use.
well, you've seen my office too, where I told you and Mike the other day that my goal is to never have to leave my office.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good with that too. by the way.
I've got a mini fridge. I've got a coffee maker. I've got my little what do you call it? My air purifier, essential oil dispenser. I got my Brita in there, so I got fresh water all the time. 12-pack of pop, couple beers just in case. Mm-hmm. Can I just get an air fryer for my office?
I don't see why not.
Is that taking it too
Get
far?
like one of the egg ones. Like, you know how there's like the smaller ones that are like the one I have
Yeah.
is smaller, but it's like egg shaped. And then if you want to do French bread pizza, all you have to do is you cut the thing in half, and it won't be perfect because you got to kind of at least like the
cram it
size
in
of
there.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like kind of prop one up and at you know a little bit of an angle, but you're good.
I can just see, I'm on like a Zoom meeting, like, oh, it's the monthly meeting of the digital whatever. And I like just pull out my air fryer shelf.
Ding.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Who had a ding and isn't muted?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, someone's trying to chime in. Well, it's certainly not me as I'm cramming French fries and pizza in my face.
Yep.
One of my favorite things to do, speaking of French bread pizza, go buy that day old bread at Jimmy John's. It's like a buck.
Yeah.
And then just make French bread pizza that way. Oh, and speaking of Trader Joe's, that's the pizza we made Friday was from there. They've got these pizza flats.
Okay.
It's like long rectangular flatbread. Mm-hmm. Not as fat as a DiGiorno. Like DiGiorno's like real doughy.
Sure.
These are pretty like maybe like yay thick, like half an inch thick, and they get real crispy, delicious. And they come in a pack of 2, so you can make homemade pizzas right there.
So I just noticed with, as I mentioned before, getting the smaller bottles of water.
Yeah,
It makes my hand feel that much bigger.
you're
As
very
is,
much on the big
as-
hand thing today.
I was going to say, as is the, there are other contexts in which that's also brought up with people.
Interesting.
Don't know what that would be.
Big
But,
gloves.
actually, speaking of big guys with big hands that have made plays,
Yes.
I don't know if I've made a play, but in 20 years ago this week, what I claim to be my favorite football play ever because of where I was at the time and just in terms of life, like I believe I was a sophomore in high school, maybe a junior, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Keith Traylor interception of Mark Brunell against the Jaguars in that crazy ass 2001 season.
Yep.
71-yard return is one of my favorite plays of all time.
I can't believe it's been 20 years.
Yeah, we're old.
Dude, I was at the score still when that happened.
Sheesh.
That's how long I've been at the
Oh my
score.
God.
It's crazy.
I was in high school.
My favorite memory of that is him desperately looking for someone to take the ball
And
from
Jerry
him.
Azuma, of all people, the kick returner, is like, no, I'm
Nope.
blocking somebody.
Sorry, you're going the whole way, big boy.
Spoiler alert, he didn't.
No, he did not. But that was awesome. That's a play for the ages. And who was the who picked sixth Cutler? Jolly? What was his first name?
Johnny Jolly?
Johnny
Well,
Jolly
I
from the
know
Packers?
I know in the playoff game when Caleb Haney was
Oh, it was
in,
Haney.
BJ Raji got him.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
Yes, it
I
is.
think that's
Yep.
what you're thinking of.
That's when,
'cause it was,
Hey,
Yeah.
this Cutler's not hurt. I saw him at dinner.
yeah, that, oh my God.
Can't eat because he. Oh, I love this town, man.
Dude, it is the best and worst all
Can
at the same
can
time.
I just say, by the way, right now, it's 8:07 p.m. on Sunday, January 9th. I've got this like sinking feeling the Bears aren't changing anything. Like Matt
No,
Nagy was talking about like, hey, we'll be back at it and next year we'll figure it out. It's like,
I mean, what is he supposed to say?
I know.
What is he supposed to be like? Well, I'm down to do this again. I don't know about them.
I don't know.
How's that going to go? I know, because someone else
Just the more I hear
to me
Brad Biggs, the
today.
less confident I get.
Yeah, but that's more about Ryan.
Pace,
That's more about
yeah.
pace. That's not necessarily about Nagy. I mean, like everybody and their brother is like, listen, Nagy's gone. Some people were trying to infer that
Nice.
that because Pace and Nagy were walking off the field together and they were like the last people off of it, that it was like them relishing their last moments and as working together. And yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah. The old wank mechanic. I
hate that I can't find any of the good ones that you used to be able to find on Twitter.
they're on
anymore.
Giphy. You got to use Giphy.
Giphy?
Yeah, Twitter
Okay.
doesn't use them anymore.
Okay.
I want to say though, I like Matt Nagy.
Yeah, he seems like a really good dude.
Yeah, I feel bad
good
for him,
coach.
but he's not a good coach.
No, he's not.
There's
And he's gotten paid well, so
There's a well-respected football person on the score that has told me off the air that they believe Matt Nagy is the worst offensive coordinator in football.
Yeah.
Not just head coach, offensive coordinator. And that game today,
Proved it.
4th and 1 on the goal line, and you drop back to pass?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? By the way, I love Aqib Talib.
Dude, he's awesome.
He's
I
so
love him.
good.
And pairing him with Gus Johnson
Yeah.
too, like just the the vibe with them is really similar. And like the fact that at the end of the game he had his family in the booth too,
Right.
was just cool.
Very cool. All right.
So,
let's
yeah.
get to the Ask a Fat, shall we?
Oh, you mean we've been meandering?
No one wants to think about the Bears right now.
True.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fat, as always, is brought to you by our buddy Charlie the Bacon Guy, and here he is with this week's Bacon Report.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have maple pepper, rosemary pepper, garlic, red wine, and cherry Dr. Pepper bacon. Oh, yeah, for bacon jams, we have the original and the bourbon. Don't forget to place your pre-orders for next month, February. We're going to have the honey barbecue and the raspberry chipotle bacons back in stock. Get your pre-orders in. Make sure you get your hands on that. As always, we have the t-shirts, hockey jerseys, stickers, and winter hats available. These next couple of weeks are going to be pretty cold. So make sure you stock up on some bacon to keep you warm. For the Bacon Report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Yeah, I got to
Just
get that.
wrap the bacon around you when you go outside.
That cherry Dr. Pepper.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, I got to get that. I think I might have. He might have given me some, and I think I got buried in my freezer. I got to look. I'll go find it. If I don't have it, I'm going to order from Charlie. And when I do, I'm going to email him, charliethebaconguy@gmail.com. You can do that. You can hit him up on Instagram at charliethebaconguy or on Twitter at czthebaconguy. He's based in Woodridge, Illinois. He is a purveyor of fantastic bacons, as you just heard. Always a nitrate and nitrate-free product. All natural hickory smoked bacon, and it's fantastic. I just had the chorizo bacon the other day. The ranch bacon is one of my favorites. Even though I'm not a big ranch guy, the ranch bacon on a BLT is perfect. So order $15 flat rate for shipping. So instead of doing 1 pound, maybe do 2, do 3. Up that order, save on shipping and down the road, because trust me, you're going to order more and you're going to kick yourself for not stocking up with that shipping. And look, if shipping is an issue for you, within reason, Charlie can deliver, or you can meet him in the middle somewhere. So hit him up, charliethebaconguy@gmail.com, at czthebaconguy on Twitter, and at charliethebaconguy on Instagram. I highly recommend following Charlie on Instagram because it is like your daily dose of food porn.
Yep.
It's incredible. So get yourself some bacon. All right, we got 2
When
voicemails.
you think
Oh, sorry.
porn, you should think Charlie the Bacon Guy.
I do every time. It's my favorite channel.
Right.
All right, leave us a message on the Fat Phone, 708-858-3314. By the way, tons of those 5-star reviews coming in for us at imfatpod@gmail.com. Remember, everyone that sends us a 5-star review from Apple Pods is entered in to win an I'm Fat Podcast prize pack. So I'm going to do
been a
that
while.
at the end. I know it has been. I'm going to give those away at the end of the month. So I'll probably do 3 this month. So make sure you get those in, and you will be rewarded. All right, let's get to the voicemails again. 708-858-3314.
Hey, Fats, this is Dr. Nick, longtime listener, second-time caller, calling with a recommendation, more for Rick than Jay, in my beloved town of Lombard on Route 38, or Roosevelt Road, as it's known to me, is a little hot dog stand called Steve's Gyros. It's been there for decades. At one point, there was a Steve, but long time ago, he sold it to a Hispanic family, and they've operated it ever since. And got your typical hot dogs, fries, burgers, but some hidden gems on the menu that you would not expect to be as good as they are their Italian beef and Italian beef sausage combo sandwiches, which rivals any of the best Italian beef that I've ever had in the area. And I am a 55-year-old fat man. I've had plenty of Italian beef. And their chili is outstanding. And since it is chilly weather, you can enjoy it at this time of the year. So highly recommend it. Rick, if you can find your way over to that part of town, it's worth a stop. Cash only. You got to be prepared to pay that way, but well worth it. Thanks, Fat. Have a great day.
Okay, so I looked it up. I drive by this building all the time. So it's, for those keeping score at home that know the area, 38 Roosevelt Road, whatever you want to call it, it's like just west of the intersection with Myers Road. So not far from the highway for anybody, like not far from like 38 and 83. So that it's good for that. And I think it's because a couple of the other buildings look more run down by it or are closed or whatever. I kind of skipped past it. But now I have a reason to stop on my way home.
There you go. That's not, what is it called?
Steve's Euro.
Steve's Zero. Interesting. All right. I used to live in that area. I used to live in Downers Grove, like 55th and Fairview. I used to live right there. So I know the area a little bit, but that's not familiar. By the way.
So basically, like if you hit Highland, you've gone too far.
Okay. Do you know, Rick, maybe you don't know this. I think it's Downers Grove. There's a place called Las Palmas on Ogden. Is that still, it's like next to a religious shop?
It rings a bell, but for whatever reason, I'm not on Ogden very often.
All right, well, let me know if you're from the area. Send us an email. I'm fatpod@gmail.com. Is Las Palmas still there, and is it still open? It is like my favorite gringo Mexican food.
Okay.
But they've got like authentic stuff, but it's very like, here's how I know it's for gringos. If they've got the burrito ranchero with like the cheese and the sauce on it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a traditional item.
And I'm guilty of loving
Oh,
that
hell no.
too.
Of course. It's fantastic.
Yes.
What? How could this burrito be better? I don't know. Put some cheese and sauce on it as I impersonate myself.
We're very meta.
Yeah, seriously. All right, here's Jason.
I love that you love the impression too. Clearly,
I if I have one, it's great. I'm very happy with it. All right, here's our weekly email or voicemail from Jason from Oshkosh.
Hi, Fats. Jason from Oshkosh. With the impending firing of Matt Nagy, I was hoping you guys could tell me your top 3 fat coaches that the Bears could bring in for head coach, with the exception of Andy Reid, since he's already in the onion ring of honor, and I don't think there's any way the Chiefs would give up that fat head coach. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Well,
but
number
Andy
one
Reid.
is Mark Mangino.
Yes.
I don't even know what he does anymore or if he's alive.
He's alive.
But Mark Mangino is the one because he is an adult baby. That is really literally what he looks like.
He looks like the Syracuse mascot.
If Ditka and Mark Mangino had a baby, it would be the Syracuse mascot.
All right, so I Googled fat football coaches.
Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator from Buffalo, is a little portly.
There you go. And the results I got were the photoshops of all the fat coaches, which is like one of my favorite things ever. Like the awesome. Fat Sean Payton.
Yes.
Oh, man. Anyway, Romeo Crennel.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Charlie Weiss. Stay as far away from my football team. Dennis Green, is he still with us?
No, he is not.
He's dead? Okay, cross him off.
Yeah.
Tom Cable was more jacked than fat.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit of both. So, but offensive line coach is what he's known for.
Is Ralph Friedgen still alive?
That's a great call. I don't know. Let's look.
Dennis Green's no longer with us, right?
Right, we did that one already.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're old. It's okay.
Wade Phillips?
Wade Phillips. Oh my God. Yes, Ralph Friedgen is still with us.
Wow.
And still, that's an upset. He's 74 and gigantic.
Give me either Ryan brother.
Yes.
I like the wild-haired one. What was his name?
Rob.
Rob Ryan.
That's Rob Ryan.
Not a great coach, but fat.
Right. Okay, I'm going to share this image with you on Twitter because that's the easy... No, not like that. Hold on.
Are you sending me nudes again?
No, not this time.
Okay, fine.
This is wonderful because this is a picture of Ralph Friedgen, who I don't even know the last time he coached, but it does not matter. He is a large man. And in this picture, large man in a white T-shirt.
Oof. Not great.
That's...
Not great.
Like... The fact that he's still with us is really a testament to him and his heart.
I think more his heart than anything. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Just incentive to watch the show on YouTube is we put images up as we talk about them. You can see pictures of the food we eat, all that stuff. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need 1,000 subscribers so we can start doing cool stuff with it. So please do that. Not that we're actually going to do anything cool with it, but we'll just be able to.
Right.
I don't really know what that means, but just do it. We need 1,000.
If nothing else, then we can get like a nice streamlined link.
Right.
Instead of it being, like Twitter people that are generically considered trolls, where it'll be like youtube.com/Steve7463108524316.
Right. And he's yelling about
whatever
the president or whoever it is.
Yes.
Yeah. We're about halfway there. So let's go. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you don't want to watch it, just do it for us.
Right.
Being jerks. All right, let's get to our emails here.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
We got an email here from Bill. Apparently, we have a Panera insider, which no one wants.
Oh.
He says I have an inside track on Panera, and they're working on getting in on the chicken sandwich wars.
What?
We don't have fryers, and it's unclear on how this will be produced, but it should be coming in March or April. Word on the street is it's going to be served with garlic aioli spread. I'm already out on this. Also, I know you both aren't too high on Panera, but stick with the classics: mac and cheese, broccoli cheddar soup, Caesar salad, no, bacon turkey bravo, yes. A well-made sandwich from Panera is can't miss. I agree. I really like the bacon turkey bravo, and their soup is fantastic, but then I got to take out a second mortgage on my house.
That's the thing. High floor, high price.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I saw that meme of like the guy sitting at the table in a park, and it's like the change my mind thing. Mm-hmm. And someone said, and one of them said, Panera is overpriced hospital food. And I can't get that out of my mind.
Yes.
I think about that comment all the time.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy?
That's good.
It's right.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. And also, if you were ever to try and get all of white people in one place at a time, you could do a lot worse than starting at Panera.
Have you seen the TikToks of taking my black friend to the Cracker Barrel?
Yes,
it's so awesome.
So great.
It's so great. It's like Get Out.
It really is. Oh, God, that's so good.
Cracker Barrel's good, though.
It is. Oh, dude, the biscuits and gravy?
Yes. Chicken and dumplings.
I miss biscuits and gravy.
I have to say, the last time I went,
yeah,
we went to the Bourbonnais one with Lawrence and Addie and Hope. We all went a couple years ago. And it wasn't as good as I remember. I don't know if maybe it was just a bad day, but it was not what I remember from any time we took a road trip down south to Florida or South Carolina, whatever. It was always every Cracker Barrel we will hit.
Okay, I have a theory.
Okay.
Because Bourbonnais has the best Buffalo Wild Wings, according to you.
Correct.
They also, to make up for that, maybe they have to have the worst Cracker Barrel.
Okay. I think that I'll go with that.
Science.
I'll try it again. I'll try Cracker Barrel again.
Okay. There's one in, I don't know if that's considered Naperville or North Aurora, but it's like pretty much if you get off of 88 at 59 and you head in the Naperville direction, just over the bridge on Deal, I think it's just off of Deal Road, if I'm remembering right, that there's a Cracker Barrel right there.
I think if you're on the highway for more than a half hour, one just materializes.
Yes.
Like
right. It's just like if you're doing that and you're south of the Mason-Dixon line, copy paste with a Waffle House.
Oh God, I miss Waffle House. We're driving to Florida in March, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to have Waffle House. It's seriously, we're going to Florida for Hope's grandma's 100th birthday, and that's what I'm looking forward to most, is going to Waffle House.
I don't blame you.
So freaking
Does Shoney's still exist?
I believe so, and that's where we used to drive to South Carolina with my parents. That was like the one place my mom would eat.
Yep. It's funny you said South Carolina because on my honeymoon, that was where we got a really great buffet breakfast.
Oh, it's good.
At Shoney's.
It's a ton of food for no money.
Yes.
Yeah, Shoney's is great. No criticism.
Sign us up.
I just didn't need to hit.
Shoney's greater than Panera.
Yes. I just didn't need to hit every Shoney's from here to Hilton Head. I didn't need every one of them every time. That's all.
All right. The other email we have is from Bob in Irving Woods. Never heard of Irving Woods.
Me neither.
Good evening, gentlemen. I finally packed up the family and hit up I Love Fries this afternoon.
Nice.
I ordered the original cheese fries, and they were everything you guys have raved about and more. They have unseated Babos as my favorite cheese fries ever. My wife had the cheesesteak fries, and the meat rivals the authentic cheesesteak from Monty's. For weeks now, I've heard you guys rave that their Coke Freestyle machine actually works. I was excited, as a cherry ginger ale would have been the perfect complement to my meal, but the machine was broken.
Oh.
I have to give the guys working. I had to give the guys working a ribbing about the situation and explain how you guys have raved about their working freestyle machine. I gladly accept a Mexican Coke as a beverage, as I didn't go there for pop. I'll definitely be taking my family back in the near future. I can read, I promise.
Yep.
As I need to try their poutine and ribbies and fries. Keep up the good work, guys, and thank God the Bears season is over tomorrow, which is today. Which to you will be yesterday.
When I went,
time's a flat circle.
When I went there, their freestyle machine was out too, and I had to chuckle. But Sonia was like, I hate this thing. I thought it was going to be great. She's like, it's like buying a Ferrari. It's this awesome thing, and then it breaks, and then you're like, oh God, this is so expensive to fix. So they're on it. They know, but it's a frustration for them. I think it's not their fault. I think the machine is just janky because there's a reason it's never working anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's frustrating, and I know they're working on getting it fixed. So, but hey, they've got other things. So
right.
You'll be all right.
There are options.
Yeah, exactly.
So
just fill up your cup with cheese fries with cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
Melted cheese.
Or what you do is you get the smaller you get a regular cheese fry, and then you get the smaller cheese fry on the side. You take the fries out, put it in the bigger one, and then you have that pool of cheese at the bottom as your beverage.
That's just good thinking. And it goes well. Cheese and cheese pair well. I don't know if you know that.
Right. Sources say.
Yeah.
By the way, can't wait for all the sources say tomorrow.
That should be fun. Yeah.
That'll be a blast.
That should be fun.
Can't wait.
All right, let's wrap this up because we're boring people.
Yeah, probably. We meandered a lot in this one.
It's a long-ass episode.
It really is. All right. Follow us on all our social media at I'm Fat Pod, I'mFatPod@gmail.com. Check out the Patreon, the TeePublic shop. If you got those Visa gift cards or something for Christmas and you need some clothes, sure, you could go to stores or whatever, but you could also go to TeePublic and get our stuff. Or if you're not even going to get our stuff, go to TeePublic through our link and get whatever you're going to get, and we get a cut. So that's always great. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, then unsubscribe and resubscribe again to help us juke the stats because everybody else is doing it. So why not? Barry Bonds, steroids, am I right? And then check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, and Frato's Culinary Kitchen. For Jay, I'm Rick, and this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
All right, I think we got a lot accomplished here today.